to build the world's greatest stadium and believe it will bring in around 7.3 billion to the UK economy each year. The new stadium will be the centrepiece of a regeneration of the Old Trafford area and will support the government's growth agenda, creating around 92,000 new jobs and 17,000 new homes. United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said this: today marks the start of an incredibly exciting journey to the delivery of what will be the world's greatest football stadium at the centre of a regenerated Old Trafford. Our current stadium has served us brilliantly for the past 115 years, but it has fallen behind the best arenas in world sport. By building next to the existing site, we will be able to preserve the essence of Old Trafford while creating a truly state-of-the-art stadium that transforms the fan experience only footsteps from our historic home. Just as important is the opportunity for a new stadium to be the catalyst for social and economic renewal of the Old Trafford area, creating jobs and investment, not just during the construction phase, but on a lasting basis when the stadium district is complete. The government has identified infrastructure investment as a strategic priority, particularly in the north of England, and we are proud to be supporting that mission with this project of national as well as local significance. United Chief Executive Omar Barada has said this: our long-term objective as a club is to have the world's best football team playing in the world's best stadium. We are grateful for the feasibility work done by the Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force, exploring options for the future of Old Trafford. We have carefully considered its findings together with the views of thousands of fans and local residents, and concluding that a new stadium is the right way for Manchester United and our surrounding community. Let's break away from those comments because we can get the quotes straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. So Jim Ratcliffe is talking right now.
Canary Wharf, King's Cross, Wembley, O2, a whole series of regeneration schemes, but nothing really. There have been one or two smaller ones in the north, but nothing of the scale of what we've seen in London. But this will be it'll be the first of this scale in the north of England. So with a project of this scale, a regeneration project of this scale, it needs to have a catalyst or a nucleus, otherwise it just becomes a new housing estate with a shopping centre. And the reason we're here today is that the club, Manchester United, would like to announce that we will underpin the government's growth plans with a new stadium. But it's not just a new stadium, it's a bit more than just a new stadium, because it's obvious that the more iconic or the more extraordinary that the stadium is, the more successful the regeneration scheme will be. And I think a really good example is the Eiffel Tower. Everybody knows, everyone around the world knows of the Eiffel Tower, and I'm sure there are many people here who've visited the Eiffel Tower. You go to Paris, you stay in a hotel, you spend money. We have 1 billion people around the world who follow Manchester United, and they will all want to visit this stadium. You will see the design in a moment, and you can take your own view as to how iconic you think it is. But I think everybody in the world who's interested in football, who's interested in Manchester United, will want to come and visit this stadium. I think it will create enormous value for the north of England and for Manchester. And Oxford Economics, who've done a study on it, reckon that that would be in the region of £7 billion per annum. United is the world's favourite football club. In my view, it's arguably the biggest, and it deserves a stadium befitting of its stature. The Premier League is indisputably the best football league in the world, maybe the best sports league in the world, and it must have a stadium that's at least the equal of the best in Europe. And today it has some great stadiums, but it doesn't have a Bernabeu and it doesn't have a Nou Camp. They're bigger and more impressive, I think, than the stadiums that we have in the Premier League today. The north of England has won 10 Champions League medals, and London has won 2, but London's got Wembley. And also, London has got Twickenham, and London has got Wimbledon, and London has got the Olympic Village. And I think the north of England deserves to have a stadium where England can play football, where we can hold the Champions League final, and it should be a stadium that's befitting of Manchester United's stature. If the government really gets behind this regeneration scheme, then we, with Norman Foster's vision, Norman, in my view, is the greatest architect in the world.